Let's go Dolphins! Week 14 is approaching, and it looks like we're going to have some major roster changes and changes that could impact the rest of the season. In fact, there are 3 changes which have generated a lot of discussion among fans and analysts. I'll tell you everything in a moment, but before I go any further, make sure you've already hit the like button if you've been a Miami Dolphins fan for over 20 years. If possible, write something like, "Go Dolphins." I'm with you until the end. Now let's get to the point. Remember cornerback Cam Smith? Miami's second pick in 2023 was placed on injured reserve after a serious shoulder injury suffered during the Thanksgiving game against the Packers. This injury, confirmed as a dislocated shoulder, has sidelined Smith indefinitely, and his placement on IR means he will miss at least 4 games. With only 5 games remaining in the regular season and Miami's playoff hopes fading, it's unlikely he'll return this year. Even if the Dolphins were to push for a playoff spot, this raises questions about the practicality of bringing Smith back, especially considering his lack of game action over the past month. Many fans have been saying the following: Cam Smith is a bust. What do you have to say about him? Leave your comment below. Many fans have asked where Nik Needham is. Well, I haven't been able to find much information about him currently, but it looks like he's on the Dolphins practice squad. But more on him in a bit. Still on the subject of Cam Smith, many believe that Vic Fangio is to blame for leaving him out for so long last season. His future is really up in the air. For me, I could just send him packing. Drafted as a promising cornerback with a limit behind stars like Kendall Fuller and Jalen Ramsey, Smith has struggled to live up to expectations. His limited appearances on the field have been marked by poor performances, and his numbers reflect that harsh reality. Opposing quarterbacks have found success targeting him, with an impressive 119.3 quarterback rating when throwing in his direction. While it's early in his career, the harsh reality is that Smith has yet to justify his draft position. Discussions are beginning to emerge among fans and analysts about whether Smith should be guaranteed a roster spot for 2025, much less become a reliable part of Miami's future plans. With Smith now on IR, the Dolphins' cornerback depth has been tested. Storm Duck steps in as the backup corner on the outside, while Ethan Bonner, who has been a healthy inactive for most of the season, will likely see increased playing time. Meanwhile, Jalen Ramsey continues to be a standout in the secondary, and there's hope that Kendall Fuller will return from concussion protocol in time for Sunday's game against the New York Jets. Fuller, who has missed 3 games due to a concussion, has been a key player in the defensive lineup, allowing a completion percentage of just 56.2% this season. Although he remains in a non-contact jersey during practice, all signs point to him being cleared to play this weekend. But the changes don't stop in the defensive backfield. Miami has also bolstered its offensive line by promoting Jackson Carman to the active roster. Carman, a former second-round pick out of Clemson, has spent the season on the practice squad after being cut by the Bengals following the preseason. Known for his versatility, Carman has experience at both guard and tackle, making him a valuable asset for a Dolphins offensive line that has been hit hard by injuries. With Austin Jackson out for the season and Kendall Lamb nursing a back injury, the addition of Carman provides much-needed depth. This move also highlights Miami's strategic use of practice squad call-ups. Carman had already reached the maximum number of game day elevations allowed from the practice squad, necessitating his full-time promotion.
Carman's addition reshapes the offensive line depth chart, which now includes 9 active players. Isaiah Wynn, another versatile lineman, remains a top option to fill gaps if needed, and Carman's flexibility ensures the team has contingency plans in place. With Lamb's status still uncertain for the Jets game, having multiple backup options is a smart move by the Dolphins front office. What do you think of these moves, Dolphins fans? Is Cam Smith's placement on IR the right call, and how do you see his future with the team? Are you optimistic about Jackson Carman's ability to step up and contribute to the offensive line? Share your thoughts below, and let's discuss what these decisions mean for Miami's playoff push and the team's long-term outlook. The roster adjustments didn't stop with Cam Smith and Jackson Carman. The Dolphins also addressed their practice squad and special teams. With Carman's promotion to the active roster, an open slot on the practice squad was quickly filled by Jason Matry, a cornerback who is no stranger to Miami. Matry had previously been part of the team's practice squad earlier this season, joining after the 53-man roster cuts. His return bolsters depth in the secondary, a critical area of need with injuries piling up. In another significant update, long snapper Blake Ferguson has been designated to return from injured reserve. This marks the sixth player the Dolphins have activated from IR this season, leaving them with just 2 remaining return designations for the year. Ferguson's return is timely, as consistency in special teams play becomes increasingly crucial in the final stretch of the season. Other players who have returned from IR this year include Tua Tagovailoa, River Crocraft, and Tyler Huntley, showcasing Miami's efforts to keep key contributors involved despite injury setbacks. That said, the Dolphins are running out of IR designations, but it appears unlikely they will use all 8 this season. Of the players still on IR, including Cam Smith, Tyus Bowser, Austin Jackson, Braxton Berrios, and Grant Dubose, only Bowser appears to have a shot at returning before the end of the regular season. Players like Jackson and Berrios are done for the year, while Dubose's status remains uncertain. This careful allocation of return slots underscores Miami's strategic approach to managing injuries and maximizing contributions from its roster. Shifting the focus back to the offensive line, the Dolphins are clearly reinforcing their depth as they prepare to face the Jets. Kendall Lamb's back and elbow issues have left his status questionable, but the veteran lineman is optimistic about suiting up this Sunday. If Lamb can't go, Isaiah Wynn and Patrick Paul are likely to step in. The addition of Jackson Carman gives the team another flexible option, ensuring they are better equipped to handle any further disruptions. With Austin Jackson already out for the season, the offensive line's ability to adapt will be critical in protecting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa and maintaining offensive consistency. As for the secondary, Jalen Ramsey's stellar performance has been a bright spot for the Dolphins this season. With Cam Smith out, more pressure falls on players like Kader Kohou, who is nursing a back injury but is expected to play soon. Having Kendall Fuller back will also be a massive boost, as his ability to lock down opposing receivers has been a cornerstone of Miami's defensive strategy. Fuller's return, coupled with Ramsey's leadership, could stabilize the unit and help the team fend off the Jets' offensive threats this weekend. The final weeks of the season will be pivotal for the Dolphins. While their playoff chances remain slim, the team is clearly focused on staying competitive and building momentum for the future. The moves they've made, whether addressing depth on the offensive line, reinforcing the secondary, or ensuring the reliability of their special teams, demonstrate a commitment to fighting until the very end. We won't give up, Dolphins fans. This team has fought hard all season, and now is the time to show our resilience. Despite the challenges, injuries, and slim playoff odds, we still have a chance, and we'll keep pushing forward. The Miami Dolphins have always been about heart, determination, and never backing down. Every game left is an opportunity to prove we belong, and as fans, our unwavering support makes all the difference. Let's rally behind our players, believe in their talent, and fight until the very last play. Together, we can fuel this team to give their all on the field. Let's go, Dolphins, onward and upward to chase the playoffs. So, Dolphins fans, what do you make of these developments? Is the team doing enough to adapt to its injury challenges, or do you see areas where Miami could be making bolder moves? What are your expectations for players like Jackson Carman and Jason Matry as they step into larger roles? And how confident are you in the cornerback group's ability to hold the line without Cam Smith? Let us know in the comments, and let's gear up for what promises to be an exciting Week 14 matchup against the Jets.